Hello, and welcome to this lecture on Vertigo and the California missions. Director Alfred Hitchcock released Vertigo in May 1958. This was 1 year before North by Northwest, which came out in 1959. Vertigo takes place in Northern California, and two 18th century Franciscan missions play key roles in the plot. They are Mission Dolores, founded in 1776, and Mission San Juan Bautista, founded in 1797. Mission Dolores is in downtown San Francisco. Mission San Juan Bautista, note the sign on the right, is south of the San Francisco Bay. The high bell tower you see here has been added by special effects. The actual bell tower at Mission San Juan Bautista is much shorter. Here's a map showing the founding dates of the different California missions. The Viceroyalty of New Spain, with its capital in Mexico City, began to create Catholic missions, as well as military forts, or presidios, in what is now California, starting in 1769 with San Diego de Alcalá. Mission Dolores in San Francisco, that is the town of St. Francis, was founded in 1776, and San Juan Bautista, the mission of St. John the Baptist, was founded in 1797. To understand why these missions, to convert Native Americans to Catholicism and presidio forts to defend the coast, were founded, we need to look to the west, to the broader Pacific world, and especially to China. For centuries, China produced some of the world's most desired goods: porcelain, elaborately woven silk cloth, and tea. The Chinese, however, were in general not impressed with the goods manufactured in other parts of the world. They were interested in silver, and Spanish-American mines in Zacatecas in West Mexico, New Spain, and Potosí in the Andes, southeast of Lake Titicaca, were sources for most of the world's silver in the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. This meant that Spanish America played an important role in global trade with China. Remember that we saw this drawing of the silver ore-filled mountain at the Andean town of Potosí, the Villarrica, rich town as it was called, in Wauman Poma's New Chronicle and Good Government. The label on the mountain says, "Mines of Potosí of silver." These words surround a dark mine shaft hole going into the mountain. In addition to silver, the Chinese were also interested in raw materials from the Pacific world: fragrant sandalwood from Hawaii, delicious sea cucumbers from Fiji, and furs, especially sea otter pelts, from the northwest coast of North America. Here's an 18th century portrait of the Chinese Emperor Qianlong wearing a fur-edged silk coat in 1735. This fur trade brought Russian merchants across the Bering Straits to what is now Alaska and Canada and down the west coast. As Russian merchants set up trading posts closer and closer to New Spain decided to found missions and set up forts in order to claim possession to California, to keep it out of Russian hands. For example, just north of the Spanish missions in the San Francisco Bay is the site of Fort Ross, which was originally founded as a fur trading post in 1811. Today, the site is a state park. Here you see a map of the territory of the Viceroyalty of New Spain in 1819, just before the Latin American Wars of Independence with Spain ended, and created Mexico as an independent nation-state. As you see, in 1819, New Spain included much of what is now the southwestern United States. 3 decades later, after the Mexican-American War of 1846-47, which ended with a surrender treaty in February 1848, much of this territory was taken over by the U.S. This 1848 treaty and the territory acquired by the Gadsden Purchase in 1853 established the current border between Mexico and the United States. So the states on this map in white are those acquired from Mexico by the 1848 surrender, and the Gadsden Purchase territory is in brown. And so as many Latino families in Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and California will tell you, we didn't move, the border did. This brings us to the tombstone of Carlota Valdez, which you will see in Vertigo. As you can see on the stone, she was born in 1831, when California was still part of Mexico. She died in 1857, 10 years after the end of the Mexican-American War, when California became part of the United States. 1857 was also 100 years before Vertigo was filmed, from September to December 1957. Here we are inside the church at Mission Dolores in a still from Vertigo. Vertigo received mixed reviews when it was released in May 1958. Since then, however, it has been recognized as one of Hitchcock's greatest films, and indeed one of the greatest films ever made. Right now, on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a certified fresh rating of 97%. I've emailed everyone a link to the streaming copy via OSU, and from your webmail, you can't link directly. You have to cut and paste that address into your web browser. Annoying flaw in design. And that address is also listed here, the Secured Media Library. I hope you enjoy watching.